Welcome back to Dreamhack Summer 2011. The series is tied up 1-1 right now. Huck's initial 4-gate helping him sprint to the lead, but honestly, having a little bit of nerve issues, did not plant the force fields that he needed. Huck, renowned for those magical perfect force field plants every time. Can he pull it back in this next game? Let's find out.
And both these players striving for a first place finish, a large one in StarCraft 2. Huck has not really had that much success recently, and Moon hasn't won anything large yet either. Both of these players desperately eager to also win that 10,000 first place prize.
That is correct. 100,000 kroners for first place. A little more than 10,000 euros or 16,000 US for those of you who don't want to try to convert. But in the top right corner, we have the Canadian representing Team Liquid and the Team Liquid OGS house. We have Liquid Huck. And in the bottom left, the unlikely contender for the second or first place position, Moon. Looks like he was not supposed to be the one to be here. Bomber, July, those are the ones that people expected to be in the finals, but no, in the bottom left, it is Moon here in the grand final.
And we do have Huck building that pylon within his base this time, sending out that 9 scouting probe. Is going to go and scout exactly what's going on, and Moon will have to once again go for that spawning pool and then extractor. There is no way he can really get a hat trick fast, especially now this probe is inside the base and will be able to track anything out. And now here comes that standard probe play from Huck, trying to deny those minerals patches.
That is so strong because you'll notice these two drones are what we call a worker pair. Notice how they trade off perfectly. This is a great way to maximize that efficiency. Huck disrupting these worker pairs anywhere he can find them. We see the spawning pool and gas going down for Moon. Gas goes down after the spawning pool. This allows Moon to sneak his hatchery at his expansion up a couple of seconds earlier. But as we've seen, Huck is able to macro very well. Those few seconds end up being key early game.
And how is Huck going to play in this game, do you think, Sean? Most likely some kind of sentry and then expansion? We'll have to see what exactly he does do there. Will it be 1-gate, 2-gate, or 3-gate? Most likely the most standard build for Huck to use here would be that 3-gate expo, but this is a best of 5, and there has already been a few curveballs thrown in here. Would not be surprised to see another one.
Uh-oh, there it is, the early second assimilator. You know what we saw last time that Huck did this? It was a DT opening that demolished Moon on Zelnaga Caverns. Will Huck have that in store again?
And will, if he is going to go for that, will Moon be ready for this? He knew and understood it now, what to do against it. We're going to have to see, will Moon scout and find out what's going on. But there are so many mind games going on between these two players right now, and this build is so tricky. It's very, very hard to identify what is going on.
Yes, this is a very fragile timing for Huck. This is one of the hardest timings to land properly because, again, all the information that you gain in this game is by scouting your opponent's front, by seeing what unit mix he has out. So what will happen for Moon, he will continue to poke at the front. He'll see those sentries. Those cost gas early on. He needs to get 3 or 4 sentries to convince his opponent that he is indeed going for the 3-gate expand. So he has to have this gas timing up exactly. Is there going to be a Twilight Council? We don't see anything yet coming out for Liquid Huck. Interestingly, just going straight for these extra gateways. Wow, not going to be going for that DT opening again.
Seems so, and he is moving down now, and I love the way that Huck pokes around here, just with a few units clearing out any idle links. And he isn't going for that build this game, as he does have these 2 extra gateways, unless he's going to be doing a late DT rush, but I don't really think that is going to happen here. It looks like we are going to see a very standard 3-gate expansion here. One Zergling is going to pop up and see this, and an Overlord is in position for Moon, and looks like it will be going into the base and try to get as much scanning information as possible.
Now it looks like Moon is doing one of the classic modern forms of aggression in this matchup. He is not removing these drones from mining gas. He is leaving them in to build a big swell of roaches. Once these larvae pop off, we see as that gray bar fills closer and closer to when those 4 larvae do end up allowing Moon to build a big early attack force. And oh man, Moon learned his lesson, does not want to lose the DTs again. There is the Evo chamber going down to allow him to build 4 crawlers. And it looks like the Overlord will pop into the main.
Trying to work out if Moon is going to go for aggression or not. Usually when you do go for aggression, you want to be opening up that supply, building an extra couple of Overlords, because roaches are 2 supply and do take up a lot of that. And as you can see in the supply count, it's quite close together. So, and he's still building drones. So I don't think we will be seeing too much aggression, but +1 melee attack is being researched.
A couple of roaches popping out right now, as well as +1 melee, and Huck looks like he's going to once again be aggressive with this early mix of sentries and a single zealot. One of the few Protosses to still do this kind of early attack, and also one of the few Protosses to have consistent damage dealt to his opponent. We see on the side of the Zerg player Moon, roaches and Zerglings getting made. Moon doing a great job of not letting these big stage nerves get to him.
He did try to sneak in a scouting Zergling, but that was denied by Huck here. And I love how active both of these players are scouting all over the map. A Zealot is going to check the gold location, is going to move down to the south as well. And now we have a stream of Lings, 10 Lings in production as well, Sean. More roaches here are being made as well. It looks like we are going to be seeing aggressive play, just not at the usual timing. And will Huck suspect something like this?
Huck still making Zealots, still making sentries. The only way he's going to defend this push is with some perfect force fields. Keep in mind, though, most of the time Protosses have already begun Stalker production, so Moon is going to be very surprised to see that these roaches needed to have a higher count. The Zerglings are going to actually be what's struggling. And is Moon actually going to go for this attack? It looks like Moon is not going to stop Zergling production. Oh my goodness, a cannon going down for Liquid Huck. This is generally a precaution against some sort of roach burrow play, but little does he know Zerglings are coming in from both sides.
And is he going to get any force fields up? He needs a force field the other way too, but he doesn't force field that side. And all these Zerglings do get close in. Does he have enough though?
There's the Guardian Shield going down. Look at all those Zerglings getting zoned, and the Stalkers do end up getting morphed in. Huck might need to try to bring those probes out, having to rearrange his forces. This is a huge early attack. Moon a little bit late on that +1 attack, and there, the 2 sentries do fall. Huck in a rough spot. This was not supposed to be the way that Moon opened up on this map, but now the probe's getting in the way. Can he keep the cannon alive? No. The cannon falls, and more Zerglings streaming in for Moon.
Oh my god, there are no Zealots, there are no sentries, only probes and Stalkers, and +1 Lings are pretty good against them. So now he's got to be so careful. He is backing up, waiting for more reinforcements, and a stream of units. And look at this, he's even adding on a 3rd base at the same time, but only units in production.
If Huck can hold this off, he can take it to the late game where his strengths lie. There are the force fields going down, trying to delay those roaches. Can he keep the Stalkers alive? The cannon, once again, does get taken down. Huck in a lot of trouble. We see more Zerglings streaming through the center of the map. 22 in production, more Stalkers getting produced. Huck trying to continue to pull back, is not able to get these probes to stay mining. But Huck is not giving up, and it looks like Huck may have stabilized, but still more Zerglings coming in.
He needs to build a few more cannons. He needs to warp in a few more Zealots as well to help combat against the Slings. And another wave comes in, gets us around on that sentry. There are not enough energy to put any force fields, and he's losing so much here.
And it looks like he's trying to morph in those Zealots, trying to do what he can. And oh no! Zerglings into the main!
And a lot of probes are going to go down here, being forced to move down to the natural. Still only units in production. The 1+4 Huck is that he did kill that 3rd expansion in the bottom right-hand side.
Wow, Huck having a great management of this situation. If he can hold on for a little bit longer, he will be okay. The one hero Zealot that took down a hatchery all by himself at the bottom right. Returning home, and it looks like Liquid Huck is starting to stabilize. Do not forget that Huck does have the +1 attack that allows his Zealots. Oh no, he actually canceled the +1. So Huck a little bit more behind than we initially thought, but amazingly, Huck has stabilized.
Wow, that is amazing by Dreamhack, playing this through, and more drones are being made at the moment. As you can see in the unit tab now, 42 drones versus 35 probes, and he will go ahead and get that 3rd base up and running once again, and finally Huck stabilizes. And this might be a smart move. He is going to poke out with these units to do a little bit more damage here.
Huck is one of the only Protosses I know who said, I've just spent 10 minutes dying, time to go attack, and it looks like it might be a blunder for him. He's getting into a great position. Wow, Huck doing some amazing control.
Wow.
Loses nothing.
I don't quite understand how those Stalkers did not go down, but they survived.
And a Guardian Shield accidentally getting thrown up saying, hey, if we end up attacking ourselves, let's just make sure we take less damage. You do see the hatchery is now getting rebuilt by Moon, but amazingly, those food counts stay equal. I cannot believe the defense by Huck, and the hero Zealot, he will go down in memory, taking down that hatch while there were non-stop streams of units in the top.
So we have 76 food now for Huck, 81 for Moon. Moon is scouting around the map looking for any hidden expansions, and I can't believe the probe and worker count is so incredibly close, even though Huck lost a lot. 44 probes versus 49 drones, and Huck might be in a bit of danger here, Sean, because look what's happening to the left-hand side.
It looks like a couple of Zerglings just barely in vision range, but I don't think Huck notices it. It's going to be very hard to see it, but he does manage to spot it. So these Zerglings will get repelled, and again, Huck aggressively moving forward. Huck is one of the few Cardinals I've ever seen willing in this way to consistently split his own armies up to make sure that he is worried about the counterattack as well as putting pressure on the front. Stalkers beginning to get made, more gateways down. How will Huck proceed from this position?
I'm not too sure yet, but we do have a couple of control groups of units for Moon moving around the map looking to try and do some form of flank, and we do have two fake Phoenixes here via the hallucination. Gone ahead and gonna scout both equally down these lanes. We'll see that this third base is just about going up, sees that he's taking both of these extractors, and this meantime we do have Huck not really looking to take a third base here. It is just adding on a lot of gateways. We have 6 in total now with this robotics facility adding on an immortal.
Now those Phoenixes not only good at just doing general scouting in the opponent's main, but especially good at spotting the position of those roaches. We do see that Huck is actively keeping that one Phoenix directly on top, but he might not be ready for this Zergling counterattack, but Huck certainly is continuing to morph in units. Uh-oh, Huck moving in towards the natural. Will Moon have enough?
I don't know, will he do a counterattack? He's been launched at the same time by Moon here. Cannons are defending it. And Huck caught in 2 positions now in no man's land. And he's got to be careful because there are a lot of units here and actually engaging into these Zealots. Zealots do clean up those. They do have that +1 upgrade.
Oh my goodness, morphing in that Nexus directly in front of the vision of Moon. Huck moving forward apparently just as a decoy so he could establish another expansion unit still in the middle of the map. More miss-unit control by Moon. Huck is getting in a good position, continuing to advance forward with this Observer. Going to be able to take out this Creep Tumor. He is going to let that Creep Tumor live. And a great tech switch by Moon here, getting that Hydra Den up, starting that Hydralisk production and that Groove Spine upgrade, which is going to increase the range of those Hydralisks. Meanwhile, taking a 4th base on that gold, it has now finished. Huck has no idea about that yet, though. Does see the mass units of Roaches and Lings here, and there's a lot of Sentry energy here to be used. And oh my goodness, look at the +2 attack on both melee and range. There's the Spire going down, but I don't think we're actually going to see any Colossus at all from Huck. Interestingly, we see that he is getting the + shield upgrade, perhaps revealing to us that he wants to get a lot of Archons later on. We do see a Changeling advancing forward for Moon, and right now Huck is moving with the slow units.
Ooh, and Moon's actually moving up here. There's a lot of force fields. He's got to be so careful.
Uh-oh, the Stalkers get caught at a bad angle, but Huck with the money force fields again needs to keep those sentries alive. Huck in a bind. He needs to have the perfect force fields to stay alive. He is getting completely surrounded. Roaches from all sides. The Immortal is down. Does he have enough energy left on these sentries? He is running extremely low. Zerglings getting rallied in from Moon, and it looks like Huck getting cornered, will get overrun.
Oh wow, all Huck's units go down. These Hydras at 1-1 making a world of difference. And where are Huck's units? Because there are none left. He's warping a few more sentries and stalkers to help defend this. But a stream of units once again by Moon, showing us his tournament experience, not crumbling under any pressure. Huck using a couple of force fields here, which will hold him off for a little bit, but for how long? These are going to go down soon, and there is a big army knocking on that door.
And it looks like Huck will have the Observer there temporarily trying to morph in more sentries. Can he get them up in time? And it looks like barely manages to throw down the force fields, but Moon relentlessly rallying Zerglings, Roaches, Hydras, everything that he can produce out of those hatcheries. The +1 attack. Oh, good game. Moon taking a 2nd game away from Huck. The best games I have seen Moon play in this tournament are in these final matches.
And wow, he's 1 game away from being the Dreamhack Summer Champion. Can Huck come back? We can see down in the booth now that he is speaking with the rest of the Team Liquid guys. But now we're going to go to a quick commercial. Guys, do not go anywhere. Tell your friends about it. Retweet about it. Let's get picking up those numbers and see you soon.